Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Why don't you be my neighbor? Today we're going to talk about a serious subject. Let me go ahead and dive right on into it. What is our cool topic for today? Our cool topic for today is why does it seem salespeople get no respect? What do you say? Why does it seem like salespeople get no respect from their family, their friends, and others who are not in the selling world, selling lifestyle? What is this all about? You know, I've been in sales for over 40 years, and I have sold a tremendous amount of things in my whole life. And now I'm in real estate, and I really enjoy selling. But one of the things that I've come to see in my lifetime is that a lot of times when people find out what you do, they seem to put up a wall. They seem to be a little bit afraid. And I think a lot of it's got to do with being sold. They don't want to be, sold anything. They don't want to be, shown stuff because they just feel like they might be pressured. And because you're a friend or a family member or somebody they know, that they think that they have to buy something from you. But here's what I'm finding out, guys. I've been in sales for a long time. We do work on this mighty thing called commission. So we do have to, let people know in our sphere of influence what we do. And sometimes there are some people who can't pay attention, or they don't have the means to be able to purchase stuff, or they just don't like you, or maybe they don't trust you, or maybe in their mind's eye you might be pressuring them, or you might try to pressure them to buy something they don't want, need, or desire. But see, here's the thing. I'm a salesperson, and I look for customers every day. I create leads. Leads are those things where you get an opportunity to talk to people who may have an interest in purchasing from you. It could be the product, it could be a service, but then again, it could be, it could be as easy as sometimes people want to buy stuff, they just don't like to be sold stuff. So I'm just sharing my feelings with you guys, because if you're going to be a salesperson, you're going to run into this stuff. You're going to run into parents who are going to be, they love you so much and they see you struggling. They see you working on this thing called commission, and they have no clue how it works or why you're even interested and what makes you feel good inside. I've been in sales for 40 years. I told you, I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. And one of the things I found out from my own personal experience, it doesn't matter that I helped my mom buy their new home, I helped my mom and dad sell their home, or friends and stuff. I've helped them when they needed it, but it's like they forget. They're like, wouldn't you rather have a regular job, And I'm going to have to say, guys, I really don't want a regular job. I do have part-time jobs. I've been in sales for a long time. I wear a lot of different hats. I've sold life insurance and real estate at the same time. I've sold pool services, motors, and heaters, and equipment and services at the same time I'm selling real estate. I sell, I love selling. But my parents, it's so weird, and people that I know, when I go to the gym and stuff, once they find out what I do, it's like they got this step to the right, step to the left, like they're afraid. And I hate that feeling. It really makes you feel uncomfortable because they don't know they're doing it. But what it does is after a while, you get kind of frustrated with the attitude of, I'm just a real person. I just want to have a real conversation. And sometimes people, they put up that brick wall. They're afraid. They think again that, fear, false evidence appearing real, that you might make them buy something. And I don't want to be that way. My simple goal in life as a salesperson is to find competent people who need what I have to offer. And if they've been doing a search, out on the internet, generally I have a CRM where it gives me the capability to tag people and reach out to people who may have touched something on the internet where they had a desire in a particular product. So I pick up the phone and I call them. And remember, I don't always get the same amount of paychecks. Sometimes I get a really basic paycheck, which is not that much. If you work for some companies, they may give you a little gas money. They maybe give you a little bit of, the basics amount that you're supposed to get when you're, working on a job, not a lot. but then you work on commission. And it's really a really great way to make money, because most people, they may get a paycheck every week, and maybe, if they're fortunate, maybe a bonus at the end of the year, and then maybe an opportunity to make more money, but they're stagnated and they're so accustomed to living under this amount of money that they've put their whole lifestyle around it. But us salespeople, we have to live within our means. That means we need to save our money for a rainy day. We may get good days. Man, we're doing good. I work with some companies that were in business 100 years, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, a month that ain't here no more. But as a salesperson, and see a lot of people who don't work on commission, everybody works on commission. They may not think they do, but they don't get paid the way they should. And as a salesperson, we can go to school. We can get an education. I've got a Class A CDL license. I've had a mortgage license, insurance license, notary's license, real estate license, 440, 214 license. So what I'm sharing is, if you are a salesperson, for us to be competent and for people to, appreciate what we do, we got to get new licenses and certifications and such. So that way we're able to talk to people and get the leads for those kind of people who are wanting to buy those really expensive products. I sold one of my favorite things, high-end electronics. I love electronics and computers and things like that. I sold them for a long time. And the other is selling furniture. I love all of that stuff. Now, sometimes people, they appreciate that you're in real estate. Hey, you might just pique their interest one time, or maybe they're watching an ad that you're putting out there, or you're putting information out there. So don't be embarrassed that you're a salesperson. When people ask me what I do, I have a little elevator, speech, and I work in sales. I help people invest in homes, and I help people sell homes. Just very simple. And you can do the same thing, because people, like I said, I've seen it in my own eyes where people who are not in sales don't understand the mentality, this carrot and stick that's in front of us, this golden opportunity, this opportunity to make as much money as we possibly can. And they're stuck in making an hourly paycheck. And I know this is a strange subject, but it doesn't matter how many things I've helped my parents buy, and friends and stuff, and people I know. It's like, man, when something excites me, like, I've been helping people with real estate for a while now, and I do all these promotions, I do all these videos, I do a lot of open houses, I do a lot of free marketing, I do a lot of free stuff to get myself built up, to build a brand. And my parents are like, you're always working for free, you're always going and doing all this stuff to help all these other people. Yeah, you do. Sometimes it's like Zig Ziglar used to say in that little story, when it comes to like the pump. You can pump and pump and pump. You got to prime it. You got to put some water in it. That means you got to work. You got to do something to get the water out, that sweet tasting, clean. It's just like your commission. You've got to work for it. You got to work smart. You got to get educated. You got to learn. You've got to ask good questions. You've got to get good training. You've got to be green and growing, and not ripe and rotting. And my parents were like, Gary, you're always taking all these courses. You're always taking all these classes. I see you doing this because I'm green and growing, guys. I'm not ripe and rotting. I say this all the time because in the real world, if we're not evolving, AI is one of my favorite tools that I use now. A lot of people, they're afraid of that. They're fearful of that. And it's really helping me a lot in marketing and so forth. But the key to success as a salesperson, if you want to be successful, you've got to do more than just the basics. You've got to study. You've got to get those certifications. You got to continuously get your continuing ed. I have to take these courses for real estate. When I got my license, it was a 63-hour course. Okay, it was tough, bro, and I passed. Then I had to take a 45-hour continuing education within that first 2 years. And then after that, it's a 14-hour continuing education course. Same thing with my insurance. I have to do that every every 2 years. So people are like, why are you always taking classes and why are you always doing? They don't understand, because a lot of times when you have a basic job, you have a basic thing that you do, you maybe move up and move around in your position, in different positions within your company. But as a salesperson, we're the most valuable people, and your management and people, they love you because they know that you are the one who makes the money, honey. And if you don't have good salespeople who feel good about themselves, I feel good about myself. And I hate explaining to my parents when I got to do this. Why are you always doing all this stuff for all these people? Because if you don't put in, you're never going to get out anything. I'd rather work really hard and know that I've done a really good job than just collect a paycheck just for showing up. And I'm not being rude. I have seen it in my own life where people, they get a basic paycheck, making pretty good monies, and then they get stagnated and they don't do nothing. They don't produce. They produce as little as possible. But when you work on this magic thing called commission, you got to work your ass off. You got to work smart. You got to look outside your box. You got to start training. You've got to look for other resources to get education, how to close, ask questions, how to help people purchase, because that's what we do for a living. We help change people's lives. So if you've got family members that are like, why are you doing this? Or treating you kind of rudely. Oh, I know you're that salesman. You ain't never going to sell me nothing. Until they need something that you got to sell. I've seen it in my own life. My parents, I sold all kinds of furniture and everything, houses, and they bought all that stuff. But it wasn't in my time. And man, for the longest time, even now, they kind of make me feel like I don't matter, and we do matter. We're salespeople. We make the world go around. So don't let anybody steal your joy. When I talk to my parents or people who don't appreciate me being a salesperson, I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just thought you need to, be informed. That's what most people do if they decide they need something or want something. And a lot of times when you're in a conversation with people, you can kind of feel them out. You got different personalities. If they're rubbing their hands together or rubbing their face or considering, they're thinking about ownership. They're trying to figure out, well, maybe I can purchase something. What should I do? And again, it's the fear factor. People are afraid of salespeople. They've had some bad experiences when mom and dad said, don't you sign no contract. Don't you sign. Don't you buy that. I got ripped off. And everybody gets taken advantage of. But remember, hey guys, if you're out there watching this and you're not a salesperson, we need you. We work together as a team. And if I have a product or a service that you can use and you can afford it, and I can at least explain the features and the benefits, you have an open mind, you could purchase something. But you got to remember, guys, there are people that we're going to work with, significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, young adults are like, why are you doing that? You're doing all that work, and it's so hard to talk to people. And you have to be careful. You have to put people in the pipeline. People aren't always ready to buy right then and there. And that's another thing that frustrates you. But the key to success is to keep going, keep growing, and keep learning. And remember, people who want to purchase stuff, they need a competent person. So you be a competent person. Appreciate yourself. You are important. You're a salesperson, a business owner. You matter. Even when people hurt your feelings, going, well, I don't know why you do that. You don't make all that much money sometimes. I like my steady paycheck. Well, little sacrifice, little money. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money. And I don't know about you, but I like to make as much money as I possibly can. And remember, guys, you glean information from each job, each opportunity in selling. Anything that you pick up can be used and incorporated in the next opportunity, because we're salespersons. And today, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe, guys, and please share it. It helps with the algorithm, and it gets other people who need help to be reminded they're important and they matter as a salesperson. And our topic today, why does it seem salespeople get no respect from their family, friends, and others? not in the selling world, because they just don't have that. They don't have what we have. We have this something, this drive in us, this God-given drive to be able to conversate with people, to be able to help people. I'm not very, I know how to fix stuff, but that's not my bent. Mine is to listen, ask good questions, find out what customers need and want, and not sell, but counsel them on the capability of purchasing. And we never treat people disrespectful, guys. We never put people down. We never put down our competitors. We never put down people that we work in the industry with, because they got enough against them already. And as a salesperson, we need to build each other up. And remember, there's enough sales to go along for everybody. But you're always going to have your cream of the crop that goes to the top, because they're looking outside their box. They've already learned how to have, like water run off a duck's back from all the negative stuff that they have to deal with, especially with objections, people saying no. And on top of that, they got their family member, won't you get a real job? And it's like, man, I've been doing this forever. I like it, or I'm just getting started. Let me do my best. And remember, guys, not every job's going to last, and not every sales job is going to work out. So glean information, catch an education, watch all my videos. I got a whole bunch. Pull it apart. You got diamonds in there, guys. So do me a favor, guys. Get out there and enjoy your day. And if you're a salesperson, we are very important. Without salespeople, nothing happens. We make the world go around. Okay? All right. I love you even when you don't understand. I got your respect. All right. I respect you.